So, talking about summer and spring, severe weather. And 2 weeks ago, if you were watching, of course, how can you forget those twin tornadoes that Nathan Gogo and I covered live? We had live pictures, live video from Ben McMillan, our storm chaser, of that. And, you know, one of the first organizations to come into the scene here when a disaster strikes is the Red Cross. And this is Liz Dorland, who you're a communications specialist, right?
Yes, communications manager.
Okay, communications manager. So you've been on the ground. You were one of the first people on the ground. You were there the last week and a half, and we toured the area on Saturday. And one thing that struck me is all the compassion, the caring that your organization gives, not only the full-time employees but also the volunteers. Let's talk about those volunteers, how they put their lives on hold and go help people they don't even know.
Yeah, we have nearly 4,000 volunteers here in Nebraska alone that are willing to put their life on hold when a disaster happens here at home. And in the case of Pilger, not only do we have staff members who have been out there, but we have volunteers from all across the nation. We have people in from Missouri, from Illinois, from Minnesota, who have really said, you know, to their families, I got to go help the community of Pilger. And they've been here since this past Monday, since a week ago on Monday. Our teams were immediately on the ground as soon as the storm was out of the area and as soon as it was safe for us to mobilize. We've been feeding, providing shelter, comfort, clothing, and a lot of care to those folks ever since the storm passed.
Yeah, and without a doubt, just walking around and talking to some of the people, of course, you know, as we walked around, and people, most of them wanted to share their stories, but there was a lot of smiles, a lot of hugs going around, but also a lot of tears. I mean, even, you know, and I saw you give a lot of compassion in the group, but I mean, what do you think touched the people most as we walked around? You know, people saying thank you for coming, thank you to volunteer. What struck you the most out of all this when you were there, Liz?
Well, I think what strikes me the most is the community resiliency that there is. You know, people are constantly coming up to the Red Cross and coming up to those people who've been impacted and saying, how can I help you, even if they're not from Pilger or from Nebraska? How can I get involved? How can I make a difference? And one of the ways that we're trying to do that is to also better prepare our community for another type of disaster such as this that has just happened.
And real quick, we have a second left. What about this tragedy struck you the most?
I think, again, it's just bringing the community together and reminding us that we are all one community, whether it's the community of Pilger, as a county, as a state, as a nation. You know, I've met people from across the entire United States who put their lives on hold to come and help during our time of need. Okay. That's what the Red Cross is all about.
Liz Dorland, Communications Manager with the Red Cross, based out of Omaha. Thanks so much for taking your time and sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you.
Katie?